Hello, good morning everyone. This is my Facebook Live. I challenged myself for 2 days. And not for 2 days, this is day 2, 14 days. I'm out in the woods in nature, and my question is for the day is, do you have a birth philosophy? If you do, what is it? Do young women have a philosophy of birth? Do they know what birth is all about? That's one of my main questions, because I want to reach women before they get pregnant, to choose from a place of wisdom and power before they get to that place. One burning question I have for anybody that pays attention is, I start with, so if the cesarean rate was 5% in the 1970s, and now in the United States it hovers somewhere in the 32% range nationally, and in some hospitals the cesarean rate is 65%. Given all that, my question is, are women's bodies broken, or is it the system? And that, I'm posing that question in the realm of birth philosophy, because there are two very polar opposite models of care and birth. One is the medical model, which states that the doctor or midwife delivers the baby. It's much more passive. There's a focus on management and time and intervention, versus the midwifery model of care, which says birth is normal. It's a physiological event, and it should be allowed to unfold, and not allowed, but it does unfold. And when we take a step back with a more hands-off, holistic approach, the outcomes are very different than the opposite model. The midwifery model focuses on the whole woman and family and that type of care. So again, my question is, do you have a birth philosophy, and what is it? I got to put my glasses on in the sun to see who's watching. Oh, hey, Sandra, how are you? Thanks for hopping on. Yeah, I like to say hello, but my point is, I'm putting out these videos one by one with what's on my mind and been on my mind for a long time, and it is about birth, and it's about young women knowing about their bodies and knowing about birth, not encouraging them to go get pregnant necessarily, but when do we learn this, and what's a good time to learn it? And it's all about that fear factor. We have a fear-based system, and I venture to say it's definitely a broken system, and women's bodies are not broken. And tomorrow I'm going to share about that a little bit more. Today the question is, do you have a birth philosophy? What is it? And if you don't, what even is a birth philosophy? When should young women and men be learning about birth, the biology of it, and the whole process of it? So here I am, day 2 for my 14-day challenge of creating these live videos and sharing what's on my mind, mainly in the form of a question. I like to ask questions. I love for you to ask questions. I don't have all the answers. All I know is I can't take it anymore, that women's health care is in crisis, and it doesn't start in pregnancy and in birth. It starts well before that. The way we treat young girls, what they're learning, what they don't know, what they do know. And I'm on this path, this role, whatever you want to call it, and I'm sharing. And great, if you're listening, thank you. Please share. I'd love to hear from young women, especially that have not given birth yet. And I am putting together a survey, and I will be sharing that as soon as I have that together. And I'm really wanting to know, when do we start teaching girls and women about their bodies, about birth, about the normalcy of it, the physiology? And when do they learn that there are two very distinct models of care, the midwifery model and the medical model? That's all I have for you today. Short and sweet. Yesterday was a little bit long, and I tend to go on these rants, and that's the way I roll. Have a beautiful day. Thanks for watching, and please share comments, resources. If you know any young women, put them in touch with me. I'd love to hear from them. And you have a beautiful day.